Hi guys, welcome to my Shaolin journey to the Black Belt.
Salute.
This is the first grade for the white belt. I think I've been training 1 year at least before he would let me even grade for the white for the first belt. My Sifu, just because it doesn't matter where you've trained before or how much experience you have in different styles. If you haven't done Shaolin, he wants you to at least wait a year. This is actually filmed in Atlanta. We did a performance. We were booked to do a performance and my grading fell on that day. I think I did the hand form at the venue, and then before dinner, I did the first weapon. And I think this is the car park actually of the venue to eat. I like Shaolin just because it's great for performing. It's to black belt, it's 8 weapons and 9 hand forms, and which is great for, if I go to a movie and they want me to give me a single sword, I can do it. Double sword, I can do it. A soft weapon like a nunchuck or a whip chain or a whip. I'm able to do that with a hard weapon like a bow staff. Also, one hand, 2 hands, so grandao, spear, bow staff, or then just the sword as one. Here we are at the venue in Atlanta, and I'm doing my grading in the middle of the crowd because my Sifu was like, "You must do now." And that's why I did it. Excuse me for the windows. It's really windy for LA actually. The palm trees outside my window are bending over right now. It's really sunny, but it's really windy. And thankfully, I'm not on my bike. So we're in, I think this is Culver City actually, and we're doing the Broadsword. This is the first sword form. This is probably like 3 to 6 months after the bow staff, because he made me wait between each gradings, even though I knew all the forms. Because we learned all the forms before I could even grade for the first belt. He just wanted, enough time, enough technique implemented, and for me to really know each application.
So.
I've been in LA now 5 years, so I've been doing Shaolin then probably for over 4 years, and I just got my certificate. It took that long in training, and it's like 3, 4, 5 times a week, so it wasn't just given. I was pretty stoked to finally gain the black belt after many years and many different styles around the world. Finally I completed something. It was just something I wanted to do for myself. So here we are for the spear. This is one of the longest forms to grade in, so you definitely need your endurance up. You need to be prepared for this, especially when you're doing a hand form the same day. Yeah, I was pretty knackered. So hey guys, you have to tell me what you want to see. Let me know. Somebody requested more martial arts and what style do I train in, so here you go. This is my story. This is my journey of my LA black belt. This is one of my favorite forms just because it reminds me of Tai Chi. You can either go really fast and strong with this, or you can go very zen and chi and chill out and kind of like meditate. You can do this really slow. Especially it's great for a warm-up. I would perform this sometimes in the gym before I went to lift weights, because it warms every part of my body, gets my mobility working, and synovial fluids all ready and going before I squat or deadlift. Straight sword and stuff, I had to grade in it, but I just don't feel as much as the broadsword. I'm much more of a hacker than a 1,000 cuts kind of like snake kind of girl. Just more brutal. I have 0 finesse, and I'm not very agile. I'm like a rhino smashing into a room, so I know my strengths. I'm not the most flexible athlete. I never performed gymnastics or dance as a kid, so yeah, I just never really got into my flexibility, not a strength, but I'm very strong. and I have been trying and stretching all the time. I have been trying to become more flexible. Every time I do a cool down, I'll stretch out, so I'm not hurt and I don't have any DOMs after training. But it's a slow process. You know, my side splits are much better than my box splits. Also, I came off a horse on a film and landed on my right hip, and they found a little bone fragment that's floating around my socket, and they're going to get that out soon. So once that goes, that will help the impingement on my hip, and the flexibility will hopefully improve as well. But right now it's just the pain of doing a turning kick. It makes me want to vomit in my mouth every time I perform a turning kick. It just makes me sweat and cold shakes. It's weird. So here we are at the Korean Belt, outside of LA. Done the grading there one day. It was great. It's a beautiful place. Pretty windy like today, but we did it. And that was the rooster form, which is not my favorite. With the whip chain, I was pretty nervous to grade in this just because there's a dart on the end that when you're training, that you can smack your own teeth out of, and or get it in your eye and stuff. So I was apprehensive, but once you learn the fundamentals, it's a lot more safer. I got a good few whacks on my leg a few times, but after a while, you know, like everything else, you learn it. It's like nunchucks. The best way to learn is get hurt. This has helped with a few auditions where they wanted me to perform a whip. So just, learning all these skills just really helps with my job as an actor. Warrior in film. Good thing as well with the whip chain is that I can carry this in my gym bag. So I do warm up with this quite a lot if the gym is pretty empty and I'm in a corner somewhere and no one can see me. This is the mantis, praying mantis. This reminds me of old Jackie Chan movies. I love the traditional Kung Fu. People have asked me if I'll do BJJ or do different styles, and I know it's great for defense, but my love is just Kung Fu. I just like the performance style of it. I'm not really a fighter, I'm a performer. Everyone's like, why didn't you do MMA fighting? Why didn't you do WWE? And it's something I never desired for. Some people love it, and I like the performing side of it. A double broadsword and ground boxing. This is another grading. So again, I love Shaolin because it's not very strict, but there's I do have a few injuries from certain movies, and one I still have, and worth every injury and worth every ounce of pain, as my forearms are all twisted. I was on these tree trunks in Wonder Woman, and so just doing like twirls on my range of motion is a little restricted, so it can just snapping swords and stuff I have difficulty. I can do all the movements, it's just the snap kind of like, I don't know, it just does something. I do get myofascial release every once in a while to try and release all of this tension, because doing things like delt raises, activate all of this, and with the trauma that I've had, I just get it released once in a while. It feels so good, but then it just comes back. And as I say, it was so worth those scenes in Wonder Woman. Here's one of my favourite weapons, the Nunchucks. Again, another one that I keep in my gym bag, and I use this as a warm-up before training. And great for movies and auditions, and just a skill to have, I actually collected loads of nunchucks in Asia and Tenerife, where I lived, and was never able to fully perform a full form with it. I could do certain moves, so it was just so nice that with Wushu Shaolin that I got this really cool freestyle form together. So I train with Wushu Shaolin Entertainment Group. we're a like a team that does performances and shows and stuff, and I always support my team when I can when I'm here in LA, especially on Chinese New Year, Gongi Fa Chai. We used to have a studio actually on the way to OC on the 405, but that closed a few years ago, and thankfully he didn't have the studio while it was COVID, so he didn't have that worry. But we perform and train everywhere, wherever we are, wherever we're booked. If not, we'll go to the beach or we'll go to the parks and stuff, and I prefer that, you know, we're in LA. I'd rather be outside on the beach and in the sunshine than stuck in the studio. I'm just much more of an island girl, and I like to be in the sun. A lot of systems and styles don't even grade, but I just wanted the black belt to achieve. It was just something on my bucket list that I wanted to do, you know, after decades of training, to actually have something complete, you know. I'm relentless like that. I like goals. I like to be motivated towards a point. That's how I work. And I'm at my best. I started Kung Fu when I was 8 years old in a small little Kung Fu club in Seal Street in Liverpool with my brothers. And we did Hung Gar. This is my favourite weapon that I performed and trained in Singapore. I've done many videos with this, and this is the black belt weapon for me to use in the Shaolin grading, which I was really happy about because it was my most efficient weapon and it was for black belt. So I was kind of like, it's the hardest, obviously grading, but it was my easiest weapon, so it worked out well. I actually trained with a Sifu in Singapore for 5 years in Nia Kwang Pungalistic. That's a really hard Kung Fu name. The Sifu would look at us all, our personalities for the first 6 months, and then choose a weapon that fit our style. And I had a friend who, she was a German girl, and he gave her 2 daggers. So they went into her purse, and she had to train with them. And he looked at me, and he gave me a big guandao. It was like 7 foot. And I was traveling to Kung Fu in the evenings on the bus. And I was like, Sifu, I can't take this on the bus. It's Singapore. They're going to arrest me. And I just put a bag over it. And he was like, no, this will make you. And you know what? It did. It was one of my skills that was that went into my visa for my green card. Apparently, in America, you need the guandao. Because, yeah, it was beneficiary for my requirements to work here. So everyone in Singapore just thought that my guandao was a fishing rod, and everyone would say, "Oh, you going fishing?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." If only you knew. So funny. And this is the black belt hand form. Another great form to have in my toolbox, and I use this as a warm up too. You can see here I'm in this is before I'm doing a movie, so I'm pretty cut up here, and this is my only form of cardio. Kung Fu is my only form of cardio. I don't go on a treadmill, I don't run, I don't do any like exercise bike. I just do a cardio that I can improve my skills on. Also, I'm a kind of girl that if I don't use it, I lose it. So if I don't do my Kung Fu forms, in a matter of a month, I'll be back there trying to perform a form, and I'll be like, what's the move next? What's this? I'm terrible. No natural ability whatsoever. Everything I do is sheer hard work, sweat and tears. Thank you for joining me, guys, for my Kung Fu story, my journey to the black belt in LA, in Shaolin, and let me know what else you want to see. I'm going to go off now. I'm already in dress to go and train. I'm going to go and train with a friend, and I'll get back to you soon. Bye. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, and comment. Tell me what you want to see. Anything you want to know, and I might tell you. Cheers.